Hey, Bob Fleener from Acme Salt, doing a really cool recipe tonight, something that's near and dear to our hearts here at Acme. We're going to do a sirloin flap meat, a steak with chimichurri sauce. Again, it's always about local meat, whatever else too. Again, this is the Marble Mountain Meat Company. This is sirloin flap meat, FLAP, or bavette style. And if you ask your butcher or whatever else, they'll be able to help you with that part, or call Matt at Marble Mountain Meats, and he can help you with these processes too. Beautiful Akuji beef, and if you look at beautiful marbling that goes through it itself, it's really an underutilized cut of meat, the bavette style cut, and I love it. As a matter of fact, again, if you've ever been to our holiday fairs or anytime that Acme's been out and about and have some of our steak, it's always this bavette style cut. We love it. We use the sphere salt mix with it. So today, guess what? We're going to sear some up. We're going to finish it in the oven, and then also we're going to make a chimichurri sauce to go with it. So let's get started. The meat's been sitting out for about 12 minutes or so. We want it to come to room temperature as best it can. And so then we're just going to liberally add salt mix to it as we go along. You can even dry brine something like this, a steak like this. So let's say you could prep these ahead of time, let them sit in the fridge overnight if you wanted to dry brine it. And again, it allows the meat itself to absorb that salt lick, gets a beautiful crust that's going to go on it as we sear it up as well. So these are not these, as you can see, we're just doing them right now. They've been sitting out for a while to warm up, but that's it. We have a nice hot pan here with about a tablespoon or so of olive oil for these, with these three steaks. We're going to wait until we see a little bit of visible smoke, getting that brown crust on it, which we're trying to shoot for right now. So we want to make sure, again, that it has a decent amount of heat attached to it. That visible smoke is about 400 degrees or so, and that's what we're looking for. Adding our meat, trying not to crowd the pan too much. Okay, got our fan on high, of course. Want to make sure that we don't smoke the place out a little bit some. But we're going to go, in essence, we're going to go about 4 to 7 minutes, depending on every burner's different, the amount of BTUs in it and whatever else as well. So we're going to go about 4 to 7 minutes to see if we get a nice crust. I want to be able to put the crust around all sides. Okay, so we're about 4.5-ish minutes or so right now. That's a beautiful crust right there. That's what we're looking for. We're going to flip them over. And seal the bottom side as well. Okay, about another 4.5 minutes or so. Nice color on that side. As you can see, this is a very thick piece of meat. And so what we want to be able to do is seal down everything that goes with it. Basically all sides, as many sides as we can. That creates more flavor. This browning action creates more flavor, but also seals it up really well and holds the juices in as we go along. So every cut of meat is different, basically. And so in this case, again, we want to make sure we're sealing up all the big surface areas that we have right there. So that's what we're doing right now. These two sides go like this. This goes like this, and we go another couple minutes now to see how we're doing, so we get everything all done. Okay, not quite 3 minutes or so to get this looking really nice. Again, we'll flip it over. We're looking for the side that has the most exposure to it, the biggest side, to make sure we're sealing up really well. Go a couple more minutes, and we'll check those. Okay, so we've gotten down to this one being done all the way across on all sides. We're going to flip these last two bigger ones to seal those well. And then we'll be ready to put them in the oven to finish them. So again, we're looking at something like this, all sides coated really well, seared really well. Again, this is a large piece of meat, so we want to make sure we cover all sides and get them done. Okay, 1.5 minutes or so, we got that small little side done as well. So now, everything's seared and ready to go. Turn on the stove off. These are now ready to go into the oven. We're going to cook these to medium rare. And so that's about 125 to 128 internal temperature with a thermometer. So we're going to start off with like 5 minutes or so in the oven, and we'll start probing them to see where they're at. But meanwhile, we'll start making the chimichurri sauce. Okay, so now we're going to make chimichurri sauce. It is an herb-based sauce for the most part. It has green onions, a little bit of cilantro. I like cilantro added to mine, and then some parsley as well. Red wine vinegar, some garlic, red pepper, and then some olive oil. So again, it's a softish looking pesto, except with a bigger herb flavor for the most part. So all we're gonna do now in making that is, we're gonna add the greens to the blender. Minced garlic. And chili flakes. and the Acme Salt mix. Okay, just gonna mix this really quick to mix them up as quick as we can. Now, not surprising, all the stuff that's on the bottom is not enough liquid, of course, to push this all the way to the top. So what we usually end up doing is, I want to start a little bit at the bottom, want to mix as much as I can because there's a whole bunch of things laying on the bottom itself. Then from there, we start mixing it up a little bit some. I'm about about 3/4 of the oil. Slow pulses until we get it mixed. Okay, now we'll add the rest of the oil. One big push and it'll be done. Beautiful herby color, love that green, and it's delicious. Goes great with a nice steak of any kind, a grilled steak or a roasted steak, just delicious. All right, chimichurri sauce. Now, we'll go ahead and check the oven and see how the steaks are doing. I had a thermal pin to help us read. We're looking for, again, for 125 to 128 or so, and we're getting there. Bang, look at that. This will be a little over probably. Yep, smaller piece. Right where we want to be. All right, we're gonna allow the meat to rest about 7 or 8 minutes or so, something like that. Allow the juices to redistribute as we go along. Then we'll be ready to slice it up and plate our meal and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so the meat is rested about 6.5, 7 minutes or so. It's ready to go, basically. What we'll do is just plate it up and we'll try it out. Well, first we'll start with a nice shot of chimichurri sauce in the center. Remember, we'll slice our meat. So one of the bigger things we want to make sure we're doing with meat itself is we're always cutting against the grain, especially for the piece of steak like this. It's not a tougher cut of meat, it's delicious and beautifully marbled. But again, if you see, you'll notice the grains are all running this way itself. And we always want to slice against the grain, basically. So again, I see it following this way. Awesome. So with my knife, and we slice it thinly. I'm a slicing kind of guy. I like these, especially the cut of meat like this. I want to make sure that's cut nice and thin, again against the grains, but delicious flavors to go with that as well. This is ready to eat on the plate itself. So, that's a nice pretty medium rare. And then you, like I said, depending on whether you like it, you get little dots as we go along. If you like the sauce especially. And there you are. Roasted Bavette style sirloin flat meat with chimichurri sauce. Enjoy.